Okay, now I am scooting around, making sure I do not basically run over any cat tails. That's unfortunate that happened once. When I basically had their food dishes right next to me, because I wanted them to keep them out of the pathway. And basically, one of my cats, the feistier one, Connie, she was eating, eating right next to me with her tail outstretched, and I just wheeled over it, and he's like, it was not fun. She did not have a fun time with that. I'm like, oh, shoot, that reminded me of Rogue's joke from X-Men, from the Fox Kids X-Men. She's like, oh, shoot. She's like, shoot, oh, sugar, I feel like nervous as a cat, a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. I'm like, oh, I can understand. Room full of rocking chairs. Oh my gosh. So I'm like, yeah. So I moved things out the way and figured things out. And then unfortunately, there was an issue where I put them in front of the door, right beside the door, out of the pathway of my chair, but in the pathway of everybody else. And then it's like, okay, I'm going to close my door. My cat is eating at her food dish. I'm trying to close the door, and she's, in the way, and I'm pushing, basically causing her to have to back off the food dish. She did not like that at all. So, she was basically hissing out the door. I'm like, okay, well, I'm sorry. So I'm like, yeah, finally I found a better spot where I basically it's out of my pathway, at least for the most part. And the cats won't have to be in the pathway of my chair or the pathway of my of the door either. So we found a nice spot. So finally, hopefully, things are going to get better with that. So now what we're doing is I'm taking the sheath off, the coating off. Oh, razor fell. Razor done fell. Find a razor. Find it. Okay, so it fell. It bounced off of something. And then there was no noise, meaning, there's sometimes you can hear get clues with sound. It fell. You hear the wood, but then you don't hear anything. You look on the wood, you'll see it. Then it means it may have fallen off, bounced off the wind, fallen onto something that absorbs sound, like carpet, and it did. So here it is. It's all good. It's a good idea. It is a very good idea to always make sure you know where your razor is, so you don't end up with it in some place you don't want it. So like your foot. So basically, nope. Thankfully, that's never happened. I had to deal with some thumbtacks in my feet though. That was not fun at all. Yeah, not a razor, thankfully. But still, yeah, I don't want any reason. Not a razor, thankfully. I never did want any of those in there. Oof, bad news. So I should just cut the coating off. Cut off the coating. That holds all four of the wires together. I like in the color coded wire because that shows off the because basically then you can just color code it yourself. And also it's like these are different wires. This is stuff that's most likely they use the color coding wires for when it's metal wire. A lot of times I'll look in the actual telephone jack. I'll actually look in the actual telephone plug and see if I see four colored wires, four colored ends of four colored wires in there. If I only see two, then it might not be the right kind. If I don't see the color, it might not be the right kind either. So I like looking for that stuff. So I like looking for that. And the interesting thing is, sometimes that stuff is cheaper than the other stuff is. Most likely because, of course, it's not as it's definitely not as good. But yeah, I need stuff that conducts electricity. You need stuff that conducts electricity for this, or it won't work. So yeah, I don't like that. There was there's headphones. There's headphones around that basically they have that stuff that's it's like wire, but it's strange wire because it's probably something metallic covering some sort of cloth or something. Like cotton or something like that, and it's basically that's pretty awesome because I'm guessing it's pretty good stuff. But unfortunately, once it breaks, once it's cut through, you can't put it back together again. It won't work. You can't just do that stuff. I don't know why it won't, but yeah, apparently it won't. But the cool thing is, you can just replace that stuff with copper wire, and certain things will work just fine. But still, it's so tough. Let's continue on here. All right. So I was cutting through this Be very careful with my razor. I am using it in the air. A long time ago, I was saying don't use a razor in the air, but sometimes you got to for something big enough, something big like this. That is, something like that. I have this casing, and I've saved the casing because I can use it for other stuff like tying things up or whatever. So yeah, I'll use that, and of course try not to scratch myself. Ow. There we go. Tie this thing up. Got it all tied up. Throw that in there with the other stuff. Now we have our wire. And this is an interesting part because if we leave it like that, it can get all tangled up and everything else. And that's not good. So we're going to try and start taping it. I will not show the entire taping it because it is boring. But I will, however, it'll take up a lot of time. But I will, however, just start it off real good. And also attach them. I like attaching them with. Oh, I was like, where's the headphone jack? Got it right here. This guy here. I'm gonna take him, and I'm gonna take it, and of course, then there's the issue, of course, of applying gender to stuff that does not have gender. I gotta work on that. One of those things is like, Angry Joe sometimes will say, Angry Joe, well, and a bunch of other people will say things like, this movie had no balls. Like, oh crap. And at first I was just letting that slide because I'm like, well, that's a slang term for not being brave. Like not being sticking to his guns, not being strong enough. But then I'm like, wait a minute, that's sexualized. That's a gender term. That's bad news because basically, balls are male. They are. So it's just like, oh my gosh, wait a minute. You're adding gender to something that doesn't have gender. In a negative way. Oh shoot. So I think I might have even typed a comment that was half joking, but pretty awesome, but definitely not completely a joke. That was like, oh yeah, when anyone said that, he did not mean that it was female. He meant that it was female and therefore inferior. He meant that it stuck to his guns. That wasn't exactly the best term to use, though. I think I said that. The other term is to say it wasn't, you couldn't pick a side or something. You gotta be careful about adding gender. Dang it. This is a problem. When the wire frays like that. So yeah, I want to get these all even. So the wires fray like that. So yeah, I don't like using terms like that because it's like fight like a woman, something like that. What? There are women who can fight for real, and I'll fight for some of the best fighters around. So it's not a good idea. But though I did enjoy the Sound recording. The Sound Critics review of Wonder Woman, where Tamara playing Wonder Woman went on to the battlefield on No Man's Land during World War One, and Malcolm as Chris Pine's character is like, he's like, hey guys, stop hiding in there like a woman. Get out there and fight like a woman, basically. And quit hiding in there, hiding in that trench, hiding like a woman. Get out there and fight like a woman. Yeah, because she's fighting and she's a woman, so it's like, yeah, but no, it's an interesting idea. It was an interesting idea, but yeah, that was a joke. But still, it's like, yeah, I gotta be careful with those things. Very careful about saying certain things because it's like, no, that is not right. Basically, no. Female, basically, a person who is female is not inferior to a person that is male. Not inferior to a person that is male because they are female. No, they are not. There's different things. People have different talents. People have different likes, different dislikes. There's so much stuff that people are forgetting about, or basically saying, letting, giving order stereotypes and stuff to, one of my things that I've done with my friend, I sing in some of my For Lady songs, is that instead of saying I did it, George, I really did it, I did it, I said I'd make a woman, and indeed I did. I'm like, I don't sing that part. No, I don't sing it like that. I said why, George, I really did it, I did it. I said I'd make an adult, and indeed I did. Yeah, it's also about me. So so basically, I'm not gonna do that. So I changed it to that, and it's like, hey, this works for more things, Because it's like, yeah, I think I make an adult, and indeed I did, yes. That's basically the truth. That's a good one. good thing to remember. So I'll see you guys next time. We'll continue talking about good stuff.